Greetings, everybody. Well, I just got finished watching the new premiere presentation on Disney Plus of the 2024 version, the new version, of the Beatles film Let It Be, directed by Michael Lindsay Hogg and originally released in 1970. And of course, the original Let It Be has been maligned and torn apart and picked on for many a decade. And of course, Peter Jackson in 2021 gave us the wonderful hours-long documentary of it, Get Back. But now, upon revisiting Let It Be for the first time in a long time, what do I gauge from this? What do I think of it? It's been quite a while, although I am very, very familiar with the film Let It Be. After watching it on home video, and I'm going to show you that, this VHS copy, this is all I had. Got this in 1981. That's a long, long time ago. And this never came out on DVD. It never came out on Blu-ray. This is a very hard to see movie. But I've seen this so many times since 1981 that I have had a transfixed memory of every camera angle, every audio bit, everything, every visual. I know this like the back of my hand. So I can tell you things that were different in here. Now, this review that I'm going to do is going to be mostly a positive review, I'm happy to say. But there's going to be a few little quibbles I had with this. Because when I do my reviews, when I talk about the Beatles as much as I love them, it's not going to be, a sycophantic experience. It's not, oh, everything's great, let's praise everything, everything's just A+ wonderful. For the most part, with this, it is. Peter Jackson went back to this and took the Michael Lindsay Hogg original film and did some work on it. And there's some things that are improved and a couple of things I kind of miss. I have notes here on a small little pad. Let's go through this list here. Things I jotted down while I was watching it. Rather than give you the good first and the not so good second or vice versa, I'm just going to go as it's on my list. First of all, when the movie started, I had a feeling they were going to do this. They do this a lot. You may have come across it. If you're a film fan, a film connoisseur like I am, has a lot of movies and likes movies, I appreciate things to be originally as presented. I want things to look like the original theatrical presentation. I don't like things changed. I don't like logos changed. I don't like things different. Well, in this case, the movie starts with the Apple logo. Or should I be more specific and say before the actual movie starts, we have a rather long introduction with Peter Jackson interviewing Michael Lindsay Hogg about the movie. It's about 5 minutes long. It's appreciated, but when you're looking to watch the original film, you want to get to the movie. I'm always happy with the interview after, but I wanted to get to the film. So after that, as I was starting to say, I knew they were going to do this. I had a feeling. The Apple logo comes on. Now, that's all fine and well. Of course, it's Apple Films and all that. You have to have the Apple. I get it. The Apple company. You have to give some credit to Apple. You have to have that featured. But I miss this thing down here that a lot of you people won't give a darn about. And I'm going to show you the bottom of it. Do you remember this here? That's the original United Artists logo. It said United Artists, a Trans-America company. That's how the movie originally started. You saw a black screen, I think a light bluish kind of symbol where it says United Artists and a Trans-America company, and you have that symbol kind of like blossoming. That's no longer there. It's gone. Now, that's a little thing. Nobody watching this. I'm probably the only one who's making a video that's going to complain about that. Hey, look. It's not the biggest thing in the world, not the biggest problem. I would have liked to see it as originally presented, but it's not. Now you just got an Apple logo. Once the movie actually starts, first thing we're going to take from it that's positive is it's gorgeous. It looks gorgeous. This thing was an abomination in quality, really bad, washed out colors, a mess. I love the quality of the new Let It Be in 2024. And also, it's presented, as it should be, in its proper 4:3 ratio. For a lot of people who don't know, that's like 1.33. It's like a square. Instead of it being wide, the rectangle, it's presented like it was shot in a square. And that's the way it should be presented. So I'm happy about that. Right away, it's impossible not to notice the improved sound quality. Oh my God, the sound is phenomenal. It is clear. You can hear stuff you'd never heard before, nuances. So the video and the audio is superb. No problems there. There's stuff I've noticed, little bits of nuances and things that a lot of people I don't think would pick up on. And I only say that because I'm a person who, as I say, I got this original presentation memorized down perfectly. I can tell things, little things I notice, like the scene when George touches the microphone and gets a shock. Yeah, he says, "fucking hell," there, which you did not hear in this originally. Now, you could say that's an improvement. It's funny. You know, on the one hand, you complain, or I complain, about things that are changed, like the introduction logo isn't there. But I like the fact that they put F and hell in there. I think that he left it in there. I thought that was an addition that worked. Okay, that was good. Let's see, what else can we say here? Little details that I missed were kind of like, when you're introducing the audience to the scene where the Beatles, after first starting out at Twickenham Studios, they move over to the Apple, brand new Apple studio, their own studio. Originally in the movie, after you finish the Twickenham stuff, you have, like, I don't know what you call it, a sweep, or some people call them barn doors, like doors. They come in like this. Then they take us to the new Apple scenes. That's gone. There's no more transition. That's what it's really called, a transition. Why do they have to take that out? I don't know. It's a little thing, doesn't ruin the movie, but it's gone. Likewise, the same thing happens later on when you finish the performances of the songs. You have Two of Us, Let It Be, and Along the Winding Road. And then we go up to the rooftop sequence again, as originally presented in the original Let It Be movie. Once we go up to the roof, you see the sweep, transition again. Whoosh, whoosh. That's gone. It just goes right to the roof. These are quibbles. They don't ruin the enjoyment. I just don't understand why it was necessary to do that. That was fine originally. I think it should have been left, but just my opinion. But again, does it matter? No, because we're hearing little things. There's little audio nuances that are brought up, things I'd never heard before, like the aforementioned swearing that George does when he gets shocked, and other things like that. Now, let's talk about something that I really didn't like at all. If I have one big criticism of this presentation of Let It Be, it would be the final credits sequence. As a lot of fans know, you have the wonderful classic rooftop performance, majestic performance. The Beatles again having a great time, their last public appearance. And when it ended originally in the movie, it's, you know, John says, "I hope we pass the audition," the classic line. And then the image froze, and the credits would come on that way, with them all frozen on the roof. And you would hear an audio of Paul doing some Get Back jokes, you know, singing Get Back in funny voices. You know, I don't want to do it here, but, you know, ooh, Get Back and all this stuff. I just did it. And that's gone. There's no more of that. John says now in the new version from 2024, "I hope we pass the audition." Screen goes to black. Brand new 2024 credits come up in white letters. Amidst the background, the song "Old Darling" is played. Not the regular "Old Darling," but, you know, them rehearsing it, trying to get it down, goofing off. So you hear the Beatles mutterings. That's a, hey, a new audio to hear. That's good. Placing it as a new ending, I don't get it. I understand they got to have new credits, the people who worked on the new version, 2024 update. I get it, but it's not the original film as originally released. It's just, technically, it's not. So those are some of the things that I'm picking on with this. But the positives, there's things in Let It Be, folks, that you're not going to see and Get Back. For example, the Octopus's Garden scene when George helps Ringo compose, and then Ringo tries to sing some of Octopus's Garden. There's more to it here than in Get Back. There's the wonderful moment at the new studio where Billy Preston joins the Beatles, and you get to hear more and see more of like Bésame Mucho, and you get to have a longer version of Dig It, the song that John sings, which I always love that long version. It's still not as long as it was. It originally exists, I think, over 8 minutes long. It's not quite that long, but it's longer and more compelling than the version in Get Back. Now, of course, there's a scene here in Let It Be that's wonderful where you have John and Paul at the microphone early in the film singing a really raucous, juiced up version of Two of Us. They're performing it together, standing at the microphone, and there's more of it here. Now, the most wonderful addition here, as I'm sure people will agree with, is getting to have the, I think it was the January 31st songs that are complete. You know, it's like, you might even call it like MTV music videos, you know, from more modern audiences. Videos of the Beatles singing the songs I mentioned earlier, Two of Us. They do Let It Be and The Long and Winding Road, and they have note perfect. It's a perfect performance captured on film. The three songs. Those three songs are not featured in Peter Jackson's marvelous Get Back. They just have them at the end. They leave them for the credit sequence in Get Back. And you just have moments here and there. That's the credit sequence. It's the end credits, and they're recording it, which is fun. You know, it's fun that we got both now, you know. We have Peter Jackson's Get Back film, where the Beatles are trying to get it down. There's jokes, and there's clapboards, take two, and all this stuff, and whatever, and they're joking around. But here you got the three songs as originally presented in Let It Be, the film. At last we have them, and that's the highlight. In a lot of ways, that's the highlight of this. The rooftop concert is always fantastic. And I like to watch it this way. I mean, I like Peter Jackson's style. Peter Jackson and his Get Back introduces a lot of different panels and boxes, a lot of things going on at the same time in different panels, really. This is more or less just the concert in Let It Be, which is nice to see. But, of course, some audience reaction, which is welcome. And it's always fun hearing the reactions of the people in the streets. But overall, I hope I didn't sound too negative on this, because overall, I am giving this a very good rating. This new 2024 version of Let It Be is the optimal way to see the movie. And in some ways, as I watched this, I thought to myself, you know, I didn't find Let It Be as depressing and joyless an experience as I used to. For some reason, maybe it's the improved quality, maybe it's the fact that I already saw Get Back, so I know the whole picture, not just this gloomy picture. I really think that Let It Be comes off a lot better than it used to, is my final summation. Is I don't think that it's a really down experience all the way through. It has its moments of things that are down, but overall I think it's pretty enjoyable. And I'm very happy overall with it, except for those quibbles that I mentioned, a few quibbles here and there. Another thing I almost forgot to mention, remember when I said earlier that there's some things that you pick up on audio that you didn't pick up on in the original Let It Be? When they go to do the song Two of Us, and they're going to do Two of Us, and they're going to do Let It Be, and they're going to do Long and Winding Road, you hear Michael Lindsay Hogg saying, I think something like, okay, turn on the cameras, and then you hear him do Two of Us. That audio was not in the original. So the new Let It Be is improved. It's better than the old Let It Be overall. There are changes. There are liberties taken here for modern presentations. It's not 100% authentically the way it was shown in theaters. More like 99%. With some enhancements and things, and some things taken away. But overall, this is the go-to version. Thanks, folks.